Flingo's speech recognition application for iPhone by Chris Vineyard. Speech recognition is a type of technology that listens to human voices and translates them to commands or text. Speech recognition is becoming more and more common and is most commonly used in mobile phones, vehicles, and other electronic devices. Speech recognition is a technology that is advancing every day and is making remarkable strides in the way we communicate with electronics. But like humans, it does make perception errors. So why study speech recognition? Speech recognition can be studied to help the technology evolve, help people with disabilities, and just help people save time without typing out information onto a computer or a phone. So let's look how speech recognition really works. A series of 9 questions were performed by 4 different individuals. The individuals include a 49-year-old male, a 47-year-old female, a 24-year-old male, and a 19-year-old female. The questions and/or comments that were tested include the following. Send Mom a text message telling her I love her. What time is it? Will it be rainy this weekend in Atlanta? Show me where I can get a good hamburger. Where is the nearest movie theater? What is 222 plus 222? How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta? Remind me to give the dogs a bath when I get home. Where are Lay's potato chips made? The questions and comments were used for a particular reason. We wanted to use long sentences, short sentences, some words that are familiar with everyday life, and some words that aren't as familiar with everyday lives. First, we will look at where Flingo succeeds.
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
The short 4-syllable sentence, "What time is it?" was correctly translated by Flingo, and all 4 subjects were correctly heard. Let's look at another sentence where Flingo succeeded.
Where is the nearest movie theater?
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 Flingo processed the speech of all 4 subjects when Flingo was asked, "Where is the nearest movie theater?" Let's take another look at a question where Flingo succeeded.
How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta?
How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta?
How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta?
How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta?
When the sentence was asked, "How long will it take to drive from New York to Atlanta?" Flingo had little problem processing the speech. Now let's take a look at where Flingo has some problems and failed in some places.
Will it be rainy this weekend in Atlanta?
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 The most speech recognition errors occurred when Vlingo was asked, "Will it be rainy this weekend in Atlanta?" The 49-year-old male was heard as, "Quality ready this weekend in Atlanta." For the 47-year-old female, rainy was mistaken with ready. For the 19-year-old female, rainy was mistaken for raining. And for the 24-year-old male, rainy was mistaken for rain. Let's look at another instance where Vlingo failed.
Show me where I can get a good hamburger.
Show me where I can get a good hamburger.
Show me where I can get a good hamburger.
Show me where I can get a good hamburger.
The 47-year-old female was misheard when she said, "Show me where I can get a good hamburger." Vlingo heard, "Show me graphing getting in burger." The 24-year-old male was also misheard when Vlingo heard, "Show me where you get a good hamburger." The 49-year-old male and the 19-year-old female did not have any problems. Let's take one more look at where Vlingo failed to process speech.
Where are Lay's potato chips made?
Where are Lay's potato chips made?
Where are Lay's potato chips made?
Where are Lay's potato chips made? When the sentence was said, "Where are Lay's potato chips made?" both the females were misheard. The 47-year-old was heard as saying, "Where are is I think you thought." The 19-year-old was heard as saying, "Where are Lay me?" Vlingo was asked a total of 36 questions. Vlingo successfully translated 24 of the 36 questions, or 67% of the questions asked. Age, sex, and dialect seemed to play a role when Vlingo was processing speech into text. The females had the most errors, with the 47-year-old female having 6 errors and the 19-year-old female having 3 errors. The 47-year-old female had a strong southern accent which could play a role in processing the speech. The male subjects didn't have as many errors as the female subjects. The 49-year-old male only had 1 error, and while the 24-year-old male had 2 errors. Like humans, Vlingo uses bottom-up and top-down processing. Bottom-up processing is the information from the speaker to Vlingo, and the top-down is information that is brought from Vlingo to the experience. This was shown when raining, and rainy was commonly mistaken. Vlingo uses prosodic factors when picking up speech from humans. Stress is an example of a prosodic factor that gives emphasis to syllables in a word or a sentence. Intonation is the use of pitch to signify different meanings, and rate is the speed of which the speech is articulated. When words are pronounced with more emphasis, they seem to be more easily recognized than words that are not as stressed. Articulatory factors such as place, manner, and voicing of phenoms is another way Vlingo processes speech. Speaker-based variation is another example of an articulatory factor that Vlingo uses when processing speech. Age, sex, and education are examples of how speakers can pronounce words differently. The lack of variance problem is a challenge for Vlingo because Vlingo doesn't know when and when not to pay attention to variance in a speaker's speech. Context-based variation is also a problem when Vlingo picks up speech because different words can be said different ways depending on their place in the sentence.